Waiter was slapped for spilling soup on a white Tycoon, then the UN ambassador stood up and said, "That's my brother Musa. Table 8, now." The manager's voice cut through the air like nails on glass from behind the bar. Coming. Musa adjusted his crisp white shirt and black bow tie. "Is only a mayor in this city, bought with half a month's wages." He moved Tawa RD the VIP section. Crystal chandeliers bathed silverware in wine glasses in golden light. The murmur of English, French, Swahili and some German he didn't understand filled the air. This was Nairobi's high society lounge. Politicians, businessmen, foreign diplomats. And him. Just a country boy from Kakamega who'd arrived 3 months ago. At table 8 sat Richard H.A. Risen, East Africa director for some Canadian mining company. The papers said he owned 3 Kenyan mines making millions RLY. Now he was laughing with local businessmen, swirling whiskey in his glass. Musa steadied himself, "Just deliver the soup, then 5-minute break." Then his right foot hit a slick of sauce someone hadn't cleaned properly. He slipped. The bowl tilted. A few drops of scalding soup splashed H.A. Risen's Armani sleeve. Time froze. H.A. Risen's smile vanished. He sta read at the stains, then suddenly stood a smack. His palm cracked across Musa's left cheek. Musa staggered back, ears ringing, face burning. His fingers touched swollen skin. "You filthy hands ruined my suit." H.A. Risen ROA read. "Get this idiot fired. Now." The restaurant went silent. Dozens of eyes watched, curious, shocked, indifferent. None spoke. Musa's throat tightened. He remembered his mother's words, "When you're away, swallow your pride." His voice shook, "Sir. I'll pay for cleaning." "Pay?" H.A. Risen sneered, polishing his glasses. "This costs more than your family makes in 10 years." The manager rushed over pale-faced, "Mr. H.A. Risen, our deepest, fire him now or I'll sue." Musa stood trembling. He wanted to cry but knew TRS meant weakness here. Just a black waiter at society's bottom, not even owed an apology. Then movement across the room. A man in traditional blue kanza robe stood slowly. His embroidered Ujamaa belt swayed as he walked. Tawa RD them with quiet authority. All eyes turned again. The stranger placed a hand on Musa's shoulder, then told H.A. Risen calmly, "Enough. Who the hell are you?" "Abdullah K.A. Ru. Kenyan ambassador to UN Geneva." He tapped his UN badge. "This is my brother." The manager gasped. H.A. Risen laughed, "Brother's him a waiter, you a diplomat bullshit." Abdullah produced IDs, check. Same mother, different fathers. Musa K.A. Ru. Abdullah K.A. Ru. Our mother lives by River Nzoia in Kakamega. H.A. Risen's face changed as he examined the credentials. That slap wasn't just for a waiter, Abdullah continued. It was for a son working to save his mother's life. A Kenyan citizen. A human being. Silence. Phones discreetly recording. H.A. Risen flushed, "In Canada we discipline CA realist staff. You Africans are too emotional. Discipline." Abdullah's voice sharpened. "In Canada, executives slap employees. Well, in Kenya we say, mtuniwatu, a person becomes human through others. You struck him, you struck us all." To the manager, "My brother quits today." Musa panicked, "Brother. I need this job. Mama's hospital." Abdullah squeezed his hand, "You deserve better. You're not filthy hands. You're Musa K.A. Ru. My blood." Then to H.A. Risen, "Now. Apologize. Publicly." H.A. Risen sputtered, "Why should I?" "Because that bowl held more than soup," Abdullah cut in. "It held a day's labor. A mother's hope. Dignity no person should lose." Someone clapped. Then another. Soon the whole restaurant applauded. H.A. Risen stood trapped. The weight of collective judgment finally hit him. Through gritted teeth, "Sorry." Musa froze. That unexpected apology broke him. TRS fell as his brother guided him outside. Nairobi's lights twinkled in the night. "Brother, when did you return?" "Today," Abdullah said. "Mama's sick." Musa nodded silently. His life had just changed. Back inside, staff quickly clear read table 8. But the slaps echo in those words, he's my brother, planted seeds in every witness. Sometimes dignity just needs one person to stand and say, he's family. The night was thick as ink on the road from Nairobi to Kakamega. Abdullah drove an old Toyota Land Cruiser, its headlights cutting through darkness like twin swords. Musa sat clutching his stained white shirt, the last shred of his old life. Only the AC's hum and tires on asphalt filled the silence. Musa kept stealing glances at his brother's profile, the Shah RP jawline with that childhood scar from falling out a tree. Familiar, yet foreign. Brother. Musa finally whispered, you really work at the UN? Abdullah kept his eyes on the road. Geneva. Human Rights and Labor. 10 ya RS now. Then why never come home? Musa's voice cracked slightly. I get it. You're educated, city folk now. We're different. Abdullah's grip tightened on the wheel. Not didn't want to. Couldn't. Musa frowned. Know how I got schooling? Abdullah continued. At 7, some Canadian missionaries saw me writing with charcoal on rocks. Asked if I wanted education. When Elia Rened we were poor, he said, would you leave home? Mom told me. Musa nodded. Said you went to Nairobi for school? Thompson sponsored me. That last morning, Mom hugged me crying, Abdullah, make us proud. Take Musa with you. Abdullah's voice dropped. But the further I went, Nairobi University, London Cholet ships, the more I ran. Ran from what? Shame. Abdullah laughed bitterly. In suits speaking. English at fancy dinners, I fear read anyone Leah Renning. I came from a village without electricity. That my brother waited tables. I was Kawe Road. Musa understood that Fia. How at work, when customers eyed him with contempt, he'd hide in the kitchen. Never mentioning Kibra slum's edge, mom selling cassava flour, dad dying from treatable malaria, all for lack of money. How'd you find me? Musa asked. Mom's sick. Abdullah swallowed. How road last month, coughing blood. Village clinic said TB. My security advisor recommended safe restaurants for visiting diplomats. Golden Elephant was government approved. Never imagined finding you like that. Musa picked at his shirt buttons. Didn't mean to embarrass you. Just a waiter, serving, cleaning, taking insults. I'm used to it. I'm not. Abdullah's outburst riled them both. Musa, we Shari blood, drank from the same well, slept on the same mat. You're not waiter Musa. You're K.A. Ru's son. Reverend Zoya's child. Moonlight now bathed passing cornfields. The night breeze ca in grass. Brother, Musa murmured, Mom always said, endure to survive. Endurance isn't submission. Abdullah's voice steeled. Africa endured too long. Colonizers left, but their shadows remain, whites calling us stupid, slapping us, saying we're unworthy. We endure because we're poor, weak. But when someone stands no more. Musa met his gaze. You stood. No. We did. Abdullah squeezed his hand. Never alone again. Flashback, Kakamega childhood roosters crowed at dawn. 6-year-old Musa squatted outside their mud hut, scratching Swahili in charcoal. Mama, nimechoka. I'm hungry. Mother Amina wove baskets under the eaves, her calloused hands flying. Good writing. When brother returns, he'll teach more. When Musa asked. Soon. Amina smiled sadly. In truth, Abdullah studied in Nairobi, visiting YRLY. His tuition came from her baskets and missionary charity. Abdullah was village pride, crisp uniform, English words, like someone from magazines. Each visit brought Musa pencils, notebooks, even a tattered African folktales. Musa, education is key to every door, he'd say. But when Musa reached 4th grade, the school demanded 1,000 shillings development fee. After weeks, Amina only gathered 300. Rain ruined her market day baskets. That night, Musa heard muffled sobs. He tore up his notebooks. Next morning, he herded goats instead. Abdullah's Geneva in UN conference halls. Abdullah addressed diplomats. African laborers face systemic discrimination, low wages, unsafe conditions. We demand a global fair work convention. Applause followed. A French delegate called him Africa's conscience. But after UARD, Abdullah splashed cold water on his face in the restroom. His reflection, perfect tie, hollow eyes. Memories surfaced, mums. Cracked hands, little Musa tugging his sleeve. Monthly, he anonymously wired 50,000 shillings to Kakamega schools. For education/medical. No name. Fear of being called showy. Worse, Musa asking, why help strangers? Not me. Not that he didn't want to help. He just didn't know how to face the past he'd fled. As their car entered the village at dawn, the Rifu children chased after it. Amina's hut stood at road's end, fresh thatch roof gleaming. The frail woman hobbled out, clutching a stick. Seeing Abdullah, she wept, my firstborn, you came. Abdullah fell to his knees. Mother, forgive me. Musa watched from the doorway, throat tight. Mom's hands were bonier than he remembered, stained with weaving dyes. Inside, Amina opened a rusted tin box, handing Abdullah yellowed papers. Your childhood writings, she said. The top page read, my brother in childish script. Musa is 5 years younger. Always following me like a shadow. I teach him letters. Shari my food when he's hungry. Mom says brothers read for each other. If I had money, I'd use my scholarship for his books. Because, he's my brother. My blood. My river. Abdullah's TRS smudged the ink. Musa leaned against the doorframe, gazing up at the vast Kenyan sky blue as mom's best kanga cloth. Finally, his brother had truly returned. Not as diplomat. Not for illness. But because he'd heard the river's call again. Their river. Rich ardha risen stormed out of Golden Elephant restaurant, his face to RK as clad iron. He slammed into his black Mercedes G-Wagon where Joseph, his Kenyan driver, waited. The AC blasted cold air, but couldn't chill Risen's fury. That diplomat. He hissed through clenched teeth, who does he think he is throwing his weight around wearied masters in Africa? Joseph kept his eyes on the road, fingers tightening on the wheel. He knew better than to react. To bosses like Risen, drivers and waiters were just tools, using Disque Road. Joseph. You ring me they to re-challenge us. Risen ked. Yes, sir. They overreacted, Joseph mumbled. Overreacted. Risen scoffed. It's savagery. Africans turn molehills into mountains. In Canada, a clumsy waiter gets fired, no drama. Here one slap and suddenly UN ambassadors come running ridiculous. Joseph stayed silent. He'd seen Risen's Canadian stand-up RDS firsthand. 12-hour shifts at the mines, wages below legal minimums, 5 workers dead from black lung and 3 ERS. The company claim. Pre-existing conditions. Next morning, Risen fired up his laptop and tweeted, last night in Nairobi, a waiter ruined my Armani. My reprimand was professional. Yet a diplomat abused power to shield his kin. Africa's service industry must prioritize Standa RDS over hysterics. #professionalism #Africa Rising. He attached photos. The stained sleeve and the restaurant's CA Road. The post went viral. Western media pounced. Canadian Business Weekly, Risen acted appropriately. Diplomatic nepotism undermines rule of law. The Telegraph, Africa's emotionalism crisis deters investors. Comments flooded in. Africans need discipline, not coddling. That waiter deserved it. Lazy blacks. Typical African corruption, family over merit. Asterisk smirking, Risen called his PR team, issue a statement about our commitment to Standa RDS and dig up dirt on that waiter. Slum uprising. Meanwhile, in Kibera slum, Asha Mutoro Sta read at her cracked phone screen. The single mother trembled reading Risen's tweet, they slap us like dogs. She sprinted to a youth center where teens huddled over job applications. Slamming her phone down, she grabbed chalk and scrawled on the wall, dignity in a bowl of soup. That waiter Musa, he's from Kakamega like me, yelled Daniel. A mechanic trainee. His mom weaves baskets to survive. My uncle works H.A. Risen's mines, another added. They drink black water while he cries over a jacket. By nightfall, petitions circulated under flickering streetlights. Children drew reddened cheeks with "Tuna Hitaji Heshima, we demand dignity." The hashtag justice for Musa spread across Africa. Your Armani costs less than my child's hospital bill from your poison mines. You call it reprimand, we call it racism. Asterisk under a mango tree, Ambassador Abdullah Ka sipped tea while scrolling through the firestorm. His younger brother Musa approached nervously. Brother, people say you abused power. Abdullah shook his head. Power isn't for shielding family, it's for shielding the powerless. He drafted a tweet, I spoke not as a diplomat, but as a human. When a white man strikes a black waiter unopposed, whereas our humanity Swahili wisdom says, Mtuni watu, a person exists. Through others, dignity isn't a privilege of skin or class. It's a right. I stood because I'm Musa's brother, and every African sibling. The post went nuclear. Newspapers reprinted it continent-wide. In a Dar es Salaam University, Professor Mwanzia screened two clips side by side, a 1950s British colonizer whipping laborers, and a 2020s white sea berating staff. Why do they call us emotional, he asked. Because our rage terrifies them. That slap wasn't an accident, it's colonialism in a business suit. A student raised her hand. Do we fight like Ambassador Abdullah? Yes, Mwanzia said. But not alone. Dignity isn't given, it's taken together. Back in his office, H.A. Risen ranted at his team, spin this. Highlight our 5,000 jobs created. Hint the waiter's a thief, find something. When his PR head hesitated, H.A. Risen snapped, say behavioral issues. Africans won't check. He then bribed a Nairobi politician to decry meddling. Diplomats. In his village, Musa watched a video of Kibra kids holding "We Stand with Musa's" signs. TRS welled up. His mother hugged him. Your Supsie Rhine hands built pyramids before their ancestors wore shoes. That evening, Musa filmed by River Nzoia. I'm Musa Ka Ru. That day, Ifea read the spilled soup more than the slap. But his words cut deepest. You'll never afford this. Is my life that cheap? I'm no hero. But to every waiter, miner, street vendor, our hands build nations. Our faces are rent for striking. Our dignity priceless. The video hit 100K Shah residential in hours. By moonlight, the brothers sat at the riverbank. Will we win? Musa asked. Abdullah watched the water. Winning isn't the point. Breaking silence, that's the start. The river flowed on, as it had through whips and flags and mines. Tonight, it's CA write something new, the weight of a spilled bowl, and the unbroken spine of dignity. Do still clung to the rusty tin roofs as Asha Mutoro squatted by a communal tap, scrubbing her teeth with a half-broken toothbrush. Her phone was wedged between her shoulder and EAR. Lena, that you, she mumbled through toothpaste foam. Not it's me, came the crisp reply. Just landed in Nairobi. Where are you? Kibera, Hope Street number 17. Get here fast, we've got work to do. The journalist arrives. Lena Mbo, 38, Tanzanian investigative reporter and Africa's most notorious thorn in the side, navigated Kibera's maze of sewage-filled alleys. Kids ran Ba past women stirring ugali over charcoal stoves. Asha Nearly tackled her with a hug. H.A. Risen's calling us hysterical on Twitter. We need to hit back. Lena pulled out a Sony recorder and a dented DSLR. Evidence first. Any footage of Musa getting slapped? Daniel piped up, my friend filmed it. But only the second half after the slap, when Ambassador Abdullah stepped in. They watched the shaky clip. H.A. Risen's hand striking, Musa's reddening cheek, Abdullah Dekle ring, he's my brother. Lena's eyes narrowed. Not enough. We need the lead-up. Was there sauce on the floor? Any safety warnings that proves it wasn't CA relentlessness, but negligence? Asha snapped her fingers. The cleaner. He must have mopped it. And dig up H.A. Risen's dirt, Lena added. Men who slap waiters don't stop at one crime. H.A. Risen's philanthropy. Meanwhile, H.A. Risen lounged in his Nairobi office, granting an interview to East African Business Review. Some call my reaction RSH, he told the fawning reporter, sipping Kenyan coffee. But excellence requires standard RDS. Our mines employ 2,000 Kenyans. We've built schools. That's real development. Next day's headline, H.A. Risen, foreign investment drives Africa, not emotions. Accompanying photo showed him grinning with black children and cutting ribbons at donated schools. Online supporters crowed. He builds schools while you cry over a slap. Ungrateful Africans. Without him, you'd sta Irv. Asterisk H.A. Risen smirked. Narrative controlled. Undercover in the mines disguised as a mining inspector, Lena infiltrated H.A. Risen's Katichi site. Her hidden camera captured teenage boys hauling rocks without masks. A rusted sign by a sludge-black creek, do not drink an old miner coughing blood, they pay 80 shillings a day. If you get sick, you're fired. That night, she broke into the office. Files revealed. Katichi mine, $120 million projected profit. Environmental risk, low, local officials compensated. And a damning photo. H.A. Risen shaking hands with a Kenyan MP at the mine entrance. The threat back in Nairobi, Lena compiled evidence into Soup and Dust, the shadows of H.A. Risen's empire. She sent it to Abdullah. Then came the text, stop investigating or your mom's DARES Salam shack burns. She replied, try it. Tin roofs don't burn easy. Interview with Musa in a Kibera cafe, sunlight streaking through tin roof gaps. Lena asked Musa, do you hate H.A. Risen? Musa touched his still swollen cheek. No. I just want the next slapped waiter to hear, he's my brother. Lena's breath caught. What do you want then? Fairness, Musa said softly. Not to shut mines or chase foreigners. Just masks for miners. Clean water for kids. No more slaps over spilled soup. We're not machines. We're people. Lena edited the clip with bakat drums pounding like ear beats. Titled He Said My Brother, it went viral. I wept. We all need someone to say, he's my brother. Musa's no victim, he's a hero. H.A. Risen's charity is poison. Asterisk international media pounced. BBC, Kenya soup scandal exposes mining abuses. H.A. Risen stocks tanked 8%. Homecoming in Kakamega, Musa showed the video to his bedridden mother. Amina wept. You spoke well, son. I raised you right. The village chief rushed in with a radio, they're playing your story nationwide. Dignity in a bowl of soup. Musa shrugged. I only told truth. Amina squeezed his hand. Truth cuts deeper than machetes. Rooftop strategy that night, under Nairobi's STARRY sky, the team gathered on a tin roof. Lena, Asha, Abdullah, Musa. What next? Asha asked. Lena cracked a RM soda. We bury H.A. Risen's lies with facts. Flood the UN. He rings. Abdullah nodded. Musa will testify. Me at the UN. Musa's voice cracked. You're not a waiter there, Abdullah said. You're a witness for every silenced worker. They clinked bottles. The night breeze ride the scent of wood smoke and something new. Hope. Truth hides. But never forever. When one voice speaks, 1,000 EARS wait. And listening, that's where revolutions begin. Morning mist draped over river Nzoia like gauze. On the muddy riverbank, Amina Ka sat. Weaving baskets from golden reeds, the kind that grew only here, fragrant and supple. Each tight stitch bore the family RK, a black K embroidered at the rim. 3 baskets a day. That's what it took to afford her TB meds, 3,000 shillings a dose, while each basket sold for only 150 at market. Musa crouched beside her, fumbling with the reeds. His thick fingers kept snapping them. Slow hands, Amina chided gently. Basket making's like life, no shortcuts. Musa thought of his waiter days at Golden Elephant, steady hands. Light steps. Quiet yet he'd still slipped that day. Mom, he blurted, do you think Abdullah was ashamed why he's an ambassador? I served soup. When he said my brother, did people think less of him? Amina laughed, her wrinkles catching sunlight. Foolish boy. Blood outruns titles. She pointed to a towering fig tree. See, branches stretch high, but roots stay in soil. Your brother's the tree. You're his branch. I'm the roots. Break roots, the tree dies. Musa stayed quiet. He understood. Yet he still felt like a leaf tossed by wind, unmoored. 2 days later, Abdullah arrived in a simple cotton shirt instead of suits. His medical bag held antibiotics. Take these, mama. The doctor says 3 months to heal. He knelt to massage her swollen ankles, the legacy of decades hauling water. Amina wept. My firstborn, you've grown thin. I'm home now, Abdullah whispered. Musa watched, stunned. The UN diplomat who spoke before assemblies now knelt like any village son. Brother, thank you, Musa managed. Abdullah met his eyes. I should have returned sooner. I forgot my roots. That night, under a star-strewn sky, the village held Kusangda Amatika, the reconciliation ceremony. Firelight gilded faces as Elder Mokol, 90 years wise, lifted a clay bowl of blood and honey. Pain and healing mixed, he intoned, sprinkling the blend to the 4 winds. Let ancestors witness, one blood, one river. To Abdullah, you flew net honors. Yet shame made you hide from family. Do you repent? Abdullah bowed. Yes. I fear red poverty's shadow would stain me. In running, I wounded those I love. To Musa, you bore burdens silently. Do you resent him? Musa shook his head. I just wanted to be seen. When he stood for me at the restaurant, I realized he'd always seen me. I was the blind one. The elders sang an old Luo hymn as the brothers drank the bittersweet mixture. Brothers like trees, roots entwined. Storms may come, yet none shall break. One flies one gua rds home return embraced, trs heal time. After OARD, Amina brought a rust-locked chest. Inside lay Abdullah's childhood essay. My brother, Musa, he trails me like a shadow. I teach him letters. Shari my yugali when he's hungry. If I had money, I'd trade my sholayership for his schoolbooks. Because, he's my blood. My river. Abdullah's TRS smudged the ink. Musa stood frozen. He never knew his brother had written this, just as he'd never admitted stealing corn from his own plate to feed Musa. Days later, the chief came grim-faced. H.A. Risen's company wants our ancestral hills for mining. Offers 10k shillings per family. Amina gasped. Our forefathers are reburied there. They'll cut River Nzoya's flow if we refuse, the chief added. Musa's fists clenched. Those hills are our roots. We won't sell. Abdullah nodded. We'll fight, with laws, with voices. At dusk, Amina gave each son a basket. To Abdullah, keep this in your office. Remember where you're from. To Musa, stop CA-ring others' plates. Your hands can weave your own path. The reeds gleamed gold in moonlight, not just crafts, but emblems of heritage. By the river, Musa voiced his fear. Can we win? They've got money, power. Abdullah watched the water. Victory isn't bought. It's earned by truth, by unity. He squeezed Musa's shoulder. Alone, we're raindrops. Together a flood that moves mountains. Musa studied his basket, finally understanding mother weaves not baskets, but belonging. Brothers shields not kin, but legacy. And what they defend isn't just land, it's the last ground where African dignity still grows. River Nzoya flowed on, a vein connecting past to future, as steady as the heartbeat of home. Abdullah stood on the UN Economic Commission for Africa balcony, cradling his mother's woven basket. Placed on his desk, it looked like a tiny monument, a reminder of where he came from, and why he fought. His phone buzzed. Lena's text. H.A. Risen's group just filed formal expansion plans for Katichi mine. Hearing set for Monday. Abdullah's jaw tightened. This wasn't just bureaucracy, it was power versus people. Behind H.A. Risen stood Canadian investors, corrupt officials, and glossy PR machines masking land grabs with words like development and jobs. He called Musa. Ready to speak for our village in Nairobi. Musa's voice was steel. Born ready. Outside Kenya's Ministry of Energy, crowds gathered Monday morning, Katichi elders in traditional robes, clutching staffs and baskets, Kibera youth holding #dignity and Isupo signs, university students in Stop Exploitation TZHA Risen smirked at them, flanked by lawyers. Rabble-rousers, he told his aide. They'll quiet down when checks clear are Inside, 7 officials sat at a long table. Sharing was Permanent Secretary Okoro, a bureaucrat known for his business-friendly efficiency. H.A. Risen's lawyer went first. Slick as oil, African Resources Group contributes 500 M shillings annually in taxes. 2,000 direct jobs. Our eco-friendly expansion meets international PPT slides flashed maps labeled green mining zone smiling miners captioned. Happy families. Stats claiming 0.03 pollution units per ton officials nodded approvingly. Then village elder Mtola stood, hands shaking. That land holds our ancestors' bones. You offered 10k shillings to sell our graves. Our water. Okoro frowned. Progress requires sacrifice, old man. Musa suddenly stood. I'm Musa Ka from Katichi in the soup slap incident. Are you approving this based on facts, or lies? The room froze as Abdullah handed him Lena's damning report. Musa read aloud. Dust levels 8x over limit, no masks. Kids as young as 13 hauling rocks. Streams poisoned with lead, cows drop dead. Environmental review. A company paid sham. Asterisk. He locked eyes with Okoro. These your international standa RDS. Okoro flushed. Unverified allegations. Lena hit play on her video. A miner's coughing blood in clinic beds. A river foaming black, fish belly up. Skinny kids bent double under were sacks. H.A. Risen leapt up. Out of context. We've made improvements. Musa fired back, then let the minister tour your minds. Let his children drink that water. Okoro called for a recess, code for let this blow over. Next day at noon, Asha led 200 people outside Golden Elephant restaurant. No chance. No signs. Just each holding an empty bowl. Passersby puzzled until they saw Asha's small plaque. RD, our bowls are empty, because yours overflow. Musa's idea went viral. Kampala, bowls circling Pa Liaman Dar Salam, fishermen's boats lined with empty cups. Lagos, students spelling water with hollowed gourds. You drink lattes from our poison streams. Silence screams louder than your bulldozers. The UN launched an investigation. Canada's foreign ministry issued vague concerns. Then a European fund froze H.A. Risen's financing pending human rights review. In his office, H.A. Risen shattered a coffee mug. Those damn. How to re they. Musa returned home. To find Amina's TB meds cut off. Pharmacy says, currency crash, prices doubled, she wheezed. He scraped together every shilling, borrowing from neighbors. Holding her frail hands, he whispered, we'll win this, mama. For our hills. Our river. Your medicine. Amina smiled. You stand tall now, son. Before, you bowed. Because someone taught me, Musa said, dignity isn't given, it's taken. When the African Union summoned Musa to testify, Abdullah's boss Warrened, don't use UN platforms for personal crusades. Abdullah typed his resignation. I won't be silent. His brothers are re-slapped, rivers poisoned, villages erased. That night, Katichi gathered around a bonfire. The chief announced H.A. Risen's offering 150k per family now. Even promises roads. Some murmured approval, until Musa stood. 150k lasts 3 years. Then what? No land. Poisoned water. Our children's future. Amina rose, holding her basket. This took 60 years. To weave. Every reed from River Nzoia. Kill the river, kill our roots. Sell this land, we sell our souls. Asterisk. Elder Mokoles' verdict was thunderous. The Ka brothers lead our fight. No signatures. No surrender. Under moonlight, the brothers watched water reflect stars. Brother, Musa asked, will silence really win? Abdullah nodded. When millions hold empty bowls, the world finally hears Africa's voice. Musa studied his mother's basket, its golden reeds glowing. The fight was just beginning, but they weren't alone anymore. Because in that quiet defiance, dignity had taken root. Fatima Abdul knelt by the river at dawn, filling a clay bowl with water. She didn't drink, just placed it on stone steps, watching sunlight dance on the surface. Day 1 of Empty Bowl Africa had begun. University students circled with empty bowls. Organizer Kwame whispered, at noon, all Africa joins. First, 1 minute of silence for those without clean water. The clock struck. Heads bowed. Bowls raised like offerings to the sky. Housewives lined empty bowls on doorsteps. Schoolkids sat curbside with their own. When passers-by asked, a girl lifted her sign, waiting for clean water to return. What sta root is Musa's idea, amplified by Asha and Lena, had spread to 10 African countries in 3 days. On Twitter, #EmptyBowlAfrica exploded to Morocco, elders holding bowls against crack Sahara Arth Rwanda Fa mares planting bowls like Sca Recros in Ba Ren fields. Angola, a fisherman dangling bowls from empty nets. Each post ca write a message, our bowls are re-empty so yours overflow. Your morning coffee steals our children's water. Silence shouts louder than bulldozers. Asterisk even white families joined London, a woman filmed her kitchen, just drank Kenyan bottled water. Now I hold this empty bowl in apology. Toronto youth protested outside Risen's HQ, our comfort shouldn't cost your dignity. Lena edited the footage into empty bowls, Africa's silent cry. Opening with Musa in Kibra, backed by the slow, heavy beat of Mbakadrams. Musa's voice closed the film, we don't want minds shut, just minds that respect us. Not anti-investment, just investment that doesn't poison our rivers or slap our faces. This bowl isn't protest. It's a reminder, all humans bleed the same. Asterisk watching the news in Nairobi, Risen shattered his phone. Who let this go global? His PR head stammered, Musa, Abdullah, Lena. Investors re-pulling. Investors. Risen ROA read. I built this empire on discipline. Now some waiter and his damn bowls undo everything. He grabbed his passport. Get me to Toronto now. At an emergency East African community meeting, Tanzania's Minister Dekle read, we welcome business, but not at the cost of our land. Kenya's rep, Abdullah's old friend, proposed, let's create a Pan-African watchdog, communities must approve all projects. The resolution passed, halt all unauthorized mining, blacklist abusive corporations, back Kitichi villagers lawsuit, online celebrations erupted, Africa finally says no. Dignity isn't given, it's taken. Musa, our hero. Asterisk in Kakamega, Amina wept watching #EmptyBowlAfrica coverage on Musa's phone. Village chief rushed over, national radio's broadcasting your movement. Amina stroked her basket. This used to hold maize flour. Now it holds a continent's hope. Musa squeezed her hand. You wove our courage, Mama. At Parliament Hill, Risen squirmed under questioning. MP Jones played Lena's Soup and Dust documentary Miners Coughing Blood, the infamous slap. Mr. Risen, Jones demanded, how does paying workers 80 shillings daily align with Canadian values? Risen sweated, that footage is edited. And your tweet calling Africans hysterical was slapping Musa also professional. Standa RDS by He Ring's End, Canada announced all African Resource Group projects under review. Kenya's High Court accepted the Ka brothers' lawsuit against Risen, assault, environmental harm, illegal land grabs. Trial date set. Abdullah's legal team prepped Musa, your testimony is key. Tell your story, the slap, the poisoned river, your mother's medicine. Musa gulped. Can I really do this? Abdullah gripped his shoulder. You're not alone. All Africa stands with you. On day 10, Asha organized 1,000 bowls vigil in Kibera. Noon. 1,000 people held bowls of water. No speeches. Just rippling reflections under the sun. Then an old woman began singing in Luganda, water, where have you gone children thirst, cattle fall. White men cars drive away leaving dust, and empty bowls. Asterisk the crowd joined softly, the song spreading like Nzoia River in flood season, through slums, cities, across the savannah night. That night, the team gathered under stars. Did we win? Asha asked. Not yet, Lena said. But their SCA read. Abdullah smiled. We showed Africa's voice doesn't need shouting to be heroed. Musa studied his bowl's shimmering water. Light alone, but heavy when millions join. Asha tilted her head. Heavy with what dignity? Musa whispered. The weight of being seen. The wind stirred the water, casting star reflections like tiny galaxies, each holding a continent's awakening. At dawn, a line already snaked around the courthouse, miners from Kitichi, mothers from Kibera, students from Kampala. They clutched baskets, staffs, and empty bowls, faces tight with hope. Today, Ka Rua Brothers vha Risen and African Resources Group would begin. Outside, Asha and Lena handed out flyers titled A Bowl of Soup, a river's cry featuring Musa's swollen cheek, poisoned streams, and children's drawings of clasped hands. Remember, Lena reminded. Volunteers, silence is our power inside. At 9 a.m., the oak doors swung open. Three black-robed judges loomed high. Plaintiff Musa Ka Ru stood tall in a white shirt and midnight blue kanga robe, stitched by his mother overnight. His feet leather-soled reed sandals, humble yet unbreakable. Defendant Richa Ha Risen sat flanked by four lawyers, his Armani sleeve brushing a dossier labeled dismissal motion. His gaze flicked to Musa, a smirk playing at his lips. The gallery buzzed with journalists, diplomats, and Amina Ka Ru gripping her basket like a talisman. Judge Otieno's gavel cracked. This court hears claims of assault, environmental harm, and land rights violations. Plaintiff Musa Ka Ru, your testimony. Musa rose, palms damp. A deep breath. His mother nodded. I served coconut goat soup at Golden Elephant. The floor was slick, a few drops stained Mr. Ha Risen's sleeve. I apologized, offered to pay cleaning, his voice steadied. The slap, it echoed. My ear rang. But the worst pain, he touched his cheek. He ring and say, you'll never afford this. A murmur rippled through the room. Musa lifted his calloused hands. These scrubbed dishes, hoed fields, held my dying father. They're not dirty. They're human. Ha Risen's pen froze mid-note. The ex-ambassador stood like a baobab tree. I testify not as a diplomat, but as Musa's brother. He spoke of shame, hiding his village roots in Geneva boardrooms. That slap woke me. Dignity isn't given. It's claimed. Citing the African Charter on Human Rights, he thundered, Article 15 guarantees clean water, yet Ha Risen's mines pump poison into Nzoia River. He dropped Lena's dossier with a thud. This proves systemic abuse, bribed inspectors, child laborers, silenced communities. His lead attorney scoffed. My client regrets the slap. But linking it to lawful mining operations absurd. Ha Risen took the stand. Jaw set. I lost my temper, yes. But our mines employ thousands. Africa needs investment, not hysterics. Judge Otieno cut in, stick to facts, Mr. Ha Risen. Lena presented internal memos, dust levels lethal, payoff inspectors. Child labor logs, 13-year-olds hauling 50-kilogram sacks. Emails Ha Risen bribing an MP for permits. Then Elder Mokol shuffled four-way RD, leaning on his CA Reved staff. They offer 10k shillings for our ancestors' graves, our rivers already black. He raised a basket. This reedwork dies if Nzoia dies. Judge Otieno eyed Musa's sandals. Why we are those today? Musa smiled. My mother wove them. In my village, reeds mean resilience. I used to think leather shoes made me somebody. Now I know dignity walks. Ba refute. He placed Amina's basket before the bench. This held maize flour, medicine, schoolbooks. Light as air, yet Ca rice generations. Ha Risen sta read at his own Italian loafers. Plaintiff's lawyer. Declare re this assault, environmental rape, and land theft. Defense, a slap doesn't negate economic progress. Judge Otieno adjourned, judgment in 7 days. As the crowd spilled out, Amina crushed Musa to her chest. You spoke like a chief. Abdullah beamed. You weren't just one voice today, you were millions. Outside, 1,000 people stood holding empty bowls. No chance. Just the sun glinting off reed sandals and upturned clay. An old woman began singing in Luo Walk. Ba refute, face the mountain. Hold empty bowls, weep no more. White men leave, black earth remains. Dignity flows like the river's core. That night, by kerosene light, Amina stroked her basket. My hands wove. Your tongue spoke. Both gua rd are home. Musa exhaled. I used to fear our words. Today they flew like a rose. Abdullah squeezed his shoulder. If we lose, we appeal to the African court. The UN rivers bend but never stop. Amina whispered the old proverb, Umoja and Nguvu, unity is strength. You too, you're the current that moves mountains. Beyond the hut, River Nzoia flowed on, ca rhying the seeds of a verdict yet to come, and the unshakable roots of pride. The courthouse steps gleamed gold under a crystal clear sky. 2 hours until verdict in Ka Rua Brothers v. Ha risen, and already a sea of people had gathered. Katichi villagers in traditional robes, clutching woven baskets. Kibera youth holding #dignity and Isupol signs. University students in matching white tees. Musa's courtroom photo printed bold with "He spoke truth." We listened. Asha and Lena directed volunteers arranging 1,000 empty bowls on the steps, each upturned like watching eyes. Remember, Lena reminded the crowd, dignity isn't shouted. It stood for. Musa wiped sweaty palms on his mother's freshly woven kanga. Brother, what if we lose? Abdullah gripped his shoulder. Then we fight again. Victory isn't an ending, it's the act of resistance. Amina touched his cheek. You already won, son. You stood in that courtroom and spoke truth. That outshines any verdict. Judge Otieno's gavel cracked at 10 a.m. Shah RP. After 7 days of deliberation, this court rules, defendant Richa Road Ha risen slap constitutes battery. His claim of professional reprimand is rejected. This was racialized violence inflicting psychological trauma. Musa's hands trembled. Ruling, Ha risen must issue public apologies in media and at Golden Elephant Restaurant. Compensation, 500 KKES to Musa Ka Ru. Muffled cheers erupted, instantly silenced by the gavel. Ha risen's face turned granite. Evidence confirms African Resources Group's Katichi mine exceeded dust limits, withheld worker masks, poisoned River Nzoia's headwaters, new and concealed violations. The judge leaned. Four-way road prophet cannot trample health. This violates Kenya's constitution. Article 42, ruling, immediate mining suspension. 6-month cleanup. 2 MKES collective damages. New oversight. BOA RD villagers, activists, and government. Elders wipe TRS. Forced land seizures via threats and bribery violate Articles 40 and 42. Ruling, Sacred Hills returned to Katichi. All compensation voided. No future development. This time, applause exploded, raw, unfiltered. Hugs. Silent weeping. Judge Otieno rose, voice booming. This case transcends individuals. It's about a continent's dignity. Labor is honorable, not expendable. Land is heritage, not commodity. And no investor, white or black, is above African law. His gavel struck like thunder. Court adjourned. Outside, villagers mobbed Musa, kissing his reed sandals, lifting him shoulder high. Asha tackled him in a hug. We won. Lena, crying, this is civil society's victory. Amina stood apart, palms skYWA road. Not smiling. Just weeping. 6 decades of quiet suffering. Released. Abdullah whispered, here that the river's song. Musa nodded. Somewhere, Nzoia's waters rushed past court walls. Tawa RD the horizon. Pale as ash, Ha risen faced reporters. I respect the court. Apologize to Mr. Ka Ru. My actions were unacceptable. Global headlines erupted. Toronto STAR, around the world in 80 slaps. How one strike sank an empire. BBC Africa, the day colonialism's ghost was slapped back. By nightfall Ha risen resigned. Stock prices cratered. Canadian police launched bribery probes. His African dream dust. 1 week later, Amina's basket sat on the UN Human Rights Council podium. Abdullah addressed diplomats, this isn't ART. It's a TB widow's livelihood. My brother's courage. A river's cry. He recounted the slap, the protests, the trial. True development doesn't choke rivers or slap waiters. Tonight, 13-year-old still haul or in Katichi's tunnels. That changes now. He proposed. Binding corporate accountability treaties. Pan-African Labor Inspectors A Dignity Index rating foreign investors standing ovation. The basket was archived as AFR 2025-01, symbol of resilience. Katichi's celebration lasted 3 days. Elders slaughtered the fattest bull, offering first cuts to ancestors. Kids SWA Ahmed Musa, what now, brother? He grinned. Night school. Law classes. Maybe village chief someday. Tugwa RD our hills, our river. Under a mango tree, Amina told Abdullah, "You made him fly." Abdullah kissed her knuckles. "No, Mama. We lifted him, you with your baskets, me with words, him with courage." Cape Town citizens poured clean water into bowls at Parliament. "Give back what you stole." Accra, fishermen hung bulls on boats to protest oil spills. Lusaka, miners' families marched 100 kilometers in reed sandals to demand safety reforms. Lena's book Soup and Dust featured Moose's forward, "They struck my face but woke my soul." Dignity isn't given, it's cupped, drop by drop from rivers of silence. Asterisk moonlight painted Nzoia silver as the brothers sat side by side. Brother, Musa asked, did we really win? Abdullah tossed a pebble. We won today. 1,000 battles remain. But now, millions know they too can stand. The reeds whispered. The water flowed. Somewhere downstream, Dignity's seeds had taken root, growing forests where once there were only scars. River Nzoia still shimmered under the June sun, its reeds thicker now, golden tassels dancing in the breeze. Under a sprawling mango tree, Amina Ka wove baskets with swift fingers, no longer wheezing from TB, her cheeks full in warm. Across the river, children's voices rang out from Dignity Primary School, its stone gate engraved. From a bowl of soup's dignity, came this school's hope. Inside classroom 3, Musa Ka stood at the chalkboard in a crisp white shirt, a tiny basket pin on his collar. No longer a waiter, but a teacher now. Today, he said, we discuss Heshima, dignity. The kids leaned. Four-way road. Dignity isn't given, Musa continued. It's claimed. 3 years ago, a white man slapped me for spilling soup. I wanted to vanish. But my brother stood and said, he's my blood. He pointed to the river through the window. That sta root everything. Empty bowls. Court battles. Not for revenge, but to declare, our faces are rent for striking. Our rivers are rent for poisoning. Our land isn't for stealing. A boy raised his hand. Teacher. Are you still SCA? Red Musa smiled. Terrified. Of failing. Of standing alone. But when I speak truth, with you, Mama, Abdullah, and millions who raised bowls behind me, FIA doesn't win. Abdullah had left Geneva for good. The multinational corporate accountability pact champion was now in drafting, but he'd traded diplomacy for grassroots justice in Kenya. He brought news. The UN had declared their case a global labor rights milestone, inviting Musa to address the next Human Rights Council. Me at the UN. Musa gasped. Abdullah gripped his calloused hands, once deemed lowly for Rhine trays, now honored for holding microphones and evidence. You speak for every silenced worker, brother. Lena Mbo's book Soup and Dust had gone global. She'd launched the Africa Truth Collective, funding muckraking journalists. Asha Mutola's Dignity Workshop in Kibera taught youth to weave baskets sold worldwide via e-commerce. Each shipment included a note woven by Kibera mothers. Each read from River Nzoia. Buying this isn't commerce, it's Solita Righty. Asterisk their office wall bore that photo, Musa in court, reed sandals planted firm, basket in hand, eyes unbroken. Rich Ardha Risen had vanished after Canada's investigation, no ridges, but his CA rear was ash. When he resurfaced in Kenya, not for mines, but penance, he found Musa outside. Dignity School. I came to apologize, he muttered, aged and hollow-eyed. Not for leniency. For peace. Musa studied the man whose slap had once shattered him. Apologies rent for my forgiveness. There to stop your ha-rm. H.A. Risen left a 10k shilling check for the school. Musa accepted, but listed the donor as River Nzoia. When Amina fell ill, not TB, just times toll, her sons gathered at her bamboo bed. She pressed a wooden box into their hands, her last pair of sandals, a letter beneath. Bury me by the river, she whispered. Bring the children ye rly. Tell them. Umoja nine nguvu, unity is strength. Heshima haiwizi kubebwa, dignity can't be bought. Mtu and iwatu, we're human through others. As her breath slowed, she smiled. The river's song, it never stops. At her funeral, villagers urged Nzoia's banks in vibrant kangas, baskets raised high. Children sang her favorite hymn, Reeds so green, waters clean mamas. Hands weave dreams unseen. Stitch by stitch, year by year, basket by basket, love made clear. Asterisk Musa set her sandals afloat. They bobbed downstream like tiny boats, carrying her spirit home. Abdullah watched them vanish. Mama, your baskets held poverty once. Now they cradle dignity. You leave us, standing tall. A decade later, the Dignity Origins Museum rose by Nzoya's banks, housing Musa's stained waiter shirt, Amina's baskets and sandals. The court verdict. A Rizen's apology letter. Tour guides asked young visitors, who knows the dignity in a soup bowl story? Hands shot up. Our awakening spa RK. On one wall, Musa's UN speech excerpt gleamed. They thought one slap would break us, but they forgot, we stand on ancestral soil. Weary backed by rivers. And rivers, never flow back. Way road. Asterisk. When Musa Karu was elected to Kenya's parliament, he took his oath and reed sandals, his mother's basket in hand. I'm here to repay debts, he told lawmakers. To every worker told you're worthless. To every poison stream. To my mama's memory. The applause shook chambers. Back in Kakamega, new students at Dignity Prima recited, all humans are reborn free and equal in dignity and rights. Universal Declaration, Article 1. Outside, River Nzoia flowed on, its waters mirroring no longer bowed heads, but eyes lifted, clear and unafraid.